Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this. It is raining outside. It was raining last night. It's raining this morning. It has been dark and gray, so thumbs up for cloud cover. I continue to have horrible insomnia, so joy on that. Thumbs up though. Hopefully you are sleeping well, and if not, hopefully things will get better for you soon. I have therapy today, so this is going to be going up late, and thank goodness I have a video that I just have to edit and then I can put together, because on my therapy days I generally can't record either. So thumbs up for that. Still though, front loading your videos, hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome, helping to keep me and my aging pet alive. I'm hoping to get a hamster soon. I love those little fuzzy boys, so here's hoping. If you would like to help me out and help keep me and my aging pet surviving, my links to the Patreon are in the video description, along with a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link with things like cat food, and a post office box where if anybody sends me anything at all, I will open it up on camera, and we will all be amazed and grateful. So thumbs up, thank you each and every one of you, and front loading of videos over, yay! I have been so time blind of late. And that's bad. I mean, literally, it's back to, blink, 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 and 2 weeks are gone. And I never, ever, ever get that time back. That's the way it's been my whole life. I'm 60. I remember maybe 30 years of that, and of those 30 years, a lot of it have been lost to alcoholism. So, thumbs up for ADHD. Yay! The other things I want to talk about is, well, really, really quick. I got very silly in my solo RPG 4 Against Darkness stuff, where I started doing it before, where I was referring to goblins and all that as twinks and thick boys. But this time I got to the end, and there was the dungeon boss, and it was a mummy. And I was feeling very, very odd, so I said, it's wearing its bondage gear. It went, and it's mostly just chains, but it could be your dommy mommy or your dommy daddy, and then went from there. So, thumbs up. I really enjoy playing these solo RPG things. I mean, I never get many views on anything at all, and lately I'm struggling even to get views on those. So, thumbs up. But after this 4 Against Darkness, and then I've got more D100 Dungeon, I'm going to stick with the D100 for at least a while, but I've got a lot of games that I'm going to be showing off, including like these solo war games in a book. I want to show those off, and that'll be cool. I do also want to talk about this. I've never showed this stuff off, but this is my PlayStation 1 Lunar Eternal Blue. Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. This is the sort of stuff that you used to get in the collector's type things. This cost a lot of money, and it's shabby. I mean, it cost a lot of money, but I got it used. It's got everything in it, but it is just all busted up and broken. I've just been more interested in having it than in... It's even got Velcro. And then in keeping the condition good, because we live in a physical universe, everything is falling apart. Life is life. But I just wanted to show the sort of things, because, I got a message. I mean, because here's the game, good old PlayStation 1 game. But then, I mean, this is the manual. It is a thick, hardback paper manual for the thing. And that's good. It's very cool. It's got a nice one of those little bookmark pieces of fabric, but it's stuck in there. So that part's nice. And then there's the OST. Now they leave this part blank, because in this one it just says, warning, the storage area is provided for the demo of Lunar 2 Eternal Blue complete that was included with Vanguard Bandits. So you can't fill up the second half of that unless you bought another product. Oh joy. But then this is the big piece right here that's got this stuff in it. Now, I was talking with my therapist about this before. I've gotten into a much more minimalist life. I think that, stuff is just stuff. It's unimportant. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The only thing that matters is how we treat each other. At the same time, if owning stuff makes you happy, as long as you don't go overboard and just make it your entire life and unbalance everything, it's fine to own stuff and be happy with it. Just remember that stuff is just stuff. It doesn't matter. But if it makes you happy, do it. Being happy is good. And if owning things makes you happy, then own things. If I had money, if I wasn't forced into living a minimalist life, I might like more stuff. I don't know. But this one, unfortunately, is just a paper map with a nice poster on the back. Nice, And then it's got all of these are little paper standees. And then you can make little things that stand up, and they're like little paper figure things, which is interesting on its own. But then the piece de resistance, I can't even speak fake French. Yeah, that thing. It's a great big old metal thing that you can just wear around your neck or whatever if you want. And it's heavy. Working Designs 2000. So this is all of the stuff, and that's cool. I just wanted to show that off just to say that, yeah, I live a minimalist life and I can't afford to own much. But there are some things in my life that I am not proud, but just glad to have. I don't get a lot of pleasure out of stuff, but I do get some. And so that's some of the pleasure out of life. Yay, from stuff. Now, from comments, I was talking about how I find the whole ethical and moral Cryptid thing funny, where he's being forced to eat every human being that he is in this little test thing with. And so I thought it was even funnier to change the POV so that we get to watch him fall apart and just die inside and become broken, because human suffering can be hysterical. Now, I do understand from, I think it was Floramu talking about how that's a little bit too close to home in some aspects. This I understand. I really like the movie, and especially the soundtrack. The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. And the title is exactly what it's about. It's about a cook, a thief, his wife, and her lover. The cook owns a restaurant. The thief is the head of a big crime thing, and he is a manipulative, lying, just the kind of person that's terrible. That if you do something bad, it doesn't matter how close you are to him. If you have disappointed him, he will publicly humiliate you. And then there is his wife, who, going to this restaurant, sees another patron, and then she and the patron become lovers. My wife, when I showed this to her, she could not enjoy this movie because her father had been like that. The incoherent sudden rages, the manipulation, all of those things. She couldn't enjoy the movie because of that. So I understand if things strike too close to home, how they can't be funny. At the same time, while I do think it's hysterical, it's also taking on a lot of non-funny aspects that I still want to keep going on. Now, the thing is, because I've got to read this on here, is to first remember one of the reasons that he's doing all this and losing his mind is he is very ethical, very moral, strong sense of wrong and right. And he honestly feels that the only way to get out of the ethical moral conundrum that he is put into with these people is to devour them bodily and completely. He has never hurt, killed, or eaten a human being in his life until this starts. He works among human beings quite frequently. He lives among human beings frequently. He dates and loves among human beings frequently. He likes people. He doesn't want to hurt people. And the fact that he's being painted into corners where there's only one option out, and that option is to eat his partner. And so he does, and it's tearing him apart inside. Because, yeah, he says, the only way out of this was to strip her of her bodily autonomy, to strip her of her agency, to strip her of her right to survive, and without her consent, consume her utterly and entirely. And I did. And the screams were terrible. She was terrified. And she kicked, she thrashed, there was blood everywhere, but it didn't matter. I ate every single scrap, every bit, every bite, until she was gone. And then I waited for those researchers. And this is tearing him apart. But you got to remember, even though he's done all this stuff, lived among humans, the ethical issues that are forcing him to devour his partner because he sees no other way out is, you got a stack of 10 Legos. There are 2 of you. How do you divide them equally? Here's a butter knife and a peanut butter sandwich. How do you cut that so that both of you have equal pieces? And the only way out is devour his partner. How has he been living and working among people all these years? Especially since I think it's also quite funny. I've forgotten the thing that I was going to say that was quite funny, so now I've got to work onto this other stuff that's not as funny. I love having ADHD. So it's still from, he keeps going to the bar. He keeps talking to Roy. Roy developed the sight when his third eye opened when he was around 15 years old. Around that time, he quickly moved upward and petitioned to join King Mike and become a part of his crowd. For the past, 60 minus 15, 45 years, he has worked for King Mike. He has been head bartender for Khmer Rouge Manor for the past 30 years. When he's talking to Everett, Everett is in his mid-30s. He's watched Everett grow up. So he's really concerned about Everett and all the other cryptids that are there. When Everett comes in to talk and tell his story, he's wondering, what capital do I need to pay for the drinks? And Roy is just, if you got a good enough story, that's capital enough. We will supply you with drinks if you entertain us. And he has to tell the story to everyone in the bar. So he's just falling apart as he's doing all these things. Now, because he is unable to make a lot of conceptual leaps, he does not understand a lot of things. He can't. As a cryptid, he can't make a lot of associations. But because cryptids are essentially people with just more, he's still trying to figure this out. He has a human brain, just a whole ton of extra universal parts as well. So he's still struggling to put this together, but because he can't make the conceptual leaps, his conspiracy stuff gets even crazier. Because he's been slowly losing his mind, wondering what's going on, because it's after like 14 days of doing this, going into the same building at the same reception desk, signing in the same way, going down the same hallway to open up the same door into the same room, and no matter that he has eaten the past 13 people that have come in here, the table's the same, the chairs are the same, the blood is gone, the researchers are there, and there's another young woman waiting. And he is just, I don't understand. So he is being forced to try and figure this out. He has suddenly clicked and just said, oh my God, I understand now. Because they have reached the point where they're going on to actual ethical and moral problems. The trolley problem. And he is absolutely conceptually unable to understand the trolley problem. Which, of course, is, the trolley can go this way, and just if you don't stop it, it can run over 5 people. And if you do pull a switch to move the trolley, then it runs over 1 person. How do you deal with this ethically? He's unable to make a lot of these conscious leaps, so he just sits there working with the problem like, well, how do I make this more efficient? Well, if we get funnels and high-pressure water, and then we just take, after every time the trolley goes through and runs over people, we just hose the area down, we can get more people in there. We could have a whole system just running behind the trolley, no matter how fast you go. You could probably run over like 10,000 people in a day. And so he's trying to work that out on how to kill 10,000 people a day using trolleys. She's, of course, trying to deal with her own ethical things, and when she tells him there is no answer to this, that's when he realizes, because everyone in the bar just gasps. Even Roy is just horrified at this. He knows what's going to happen just based on that. Because, there's no answer to this problem, and that's when he realized there are truly evil people behind this. Really evil people, because when she told him that, she was staring him straight in the eye. She had no idea what was going to happen next. They had been painted into an ethical corner. There was one pathway out where both of them could survive. And when she said there was no answer, that door was slammed shut. And at that moment, he knew the people behind this, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, because they sent her down there and told her the exact thing to tell him that would slam that door shut. And everyone in the bar fully believes this. Lynn Tanner, who's been listening, the serial killer, urban killer, her serial killer just says, I don't know what's going on, but they have got you and all of these people set up. This is wrong. Everyone believes that there is something awful happening behind it. And not really. But when you can't make the conceptual leaps, human beings, we create conspiracies all the time. What must it be like if you have that extra stuff and no answers? So he's fully convinced that this is a fully evil thing. Day 21 of 23, he comes back to the bar. He is he is so angry, and he tells the story when he got there. This time, the person was a young woman. Of course, same thing all around. But she had her 2 kits with her, one an infant and one around 8. And those evil, evil people sent her and her kits down to get eaten. He lost it. He used that metal table and he beat the shorter of the 2 cryptid researchers so badly the body was barely recognizable as a humanoid body, and the table had come apart. The taller of the researchers there, he just ate her. And she screamed for a very long time before he'd eaten enough that she died. But he ate every last piece. He is very moral, very ethical, with a strong sense of wrong and right, and he lives among humans. He works with and loves among humans. He's not going to eat those kits. And I've opened up 24 hours by the comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's not many at all this time, but anything more than 0 was awesome. Thank you. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, not just Barola. You already have seen how my brain works. I'm medicated, but you can't tell. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you very much. And oh my god, I've been waiting for ever since Minecraft came out for them to come up with the caves update. Hokey smokes. And then we have Flora Mew, greatly appreciated, and then thumbs up and thank you. Greatly appreciated. 77 Arcturus, yeah, oh my gosh, I've been wearing earplugs for decades. Hokey smokes. Sebastian Ferris, howdy hey. Chris, greatly appreciated and good to see you. RJ Mitchell, thumbs up and thank you. And that is it. 6 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you for a very short period of time. You got me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you. Well, hokey smokes, I got therapy today, so I'm going to do whatever I can, checking my clock. It's a half hour before therapy starts, so yay. And so I'm going to do what I can do. Hopefully you can do what you can do. If you can't do what you want to do, don't beat yourself up. That does not help. It just makes you feel bad and doesn't help a thing. And with everything happening in the world, please, if people are getting sick in your area, take appropriate precautions. If people getting hurt in your area, like say a volcano with flowing lava, don't try to swim in the lava. And of course, if you're out walking and you hear the mournful howl of that bus horn, it might not be for you, but be prepared for impact just in case. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing.